The Spider-Man ship has been sinking for a long time, but it has never been as underwater as it is today, folks. Welcome to Dead Metal Media. I am your host, Dead Metal. Today we discuss why Spider-Man No Way Home is single-handedly ruining the film medium, is single-handedly tearing through cinema with reckless abandon, throwing aside good, well-written, well-paced plots, familiar yet surprising narrative devices, good acting, good direction, good continuity, all thrown out the window by this horrible, this disgusting, this piss-poor, pale imitation of what a Spider-Man film should be. See, these idiots out here paying for MCU, dollar store, Tom Holland Spider-Man. Oh, that ain't Spider-Man. That's a fraud. Tom Holland can't act to save his life. It's no wonder they cast him in the lead role in Uncharted, because that film is dominated by an equally worthless charisma vacuum in Nathan Drake. Yeah, Tom Holland plays the dumb shit douchebag pretty fucking well, but as Peter Parker, a person, a young man who has range, who has emotions, he completely destroyed the character. Not even. He completely ruined the Spider-Man name. Not even! He completely and single-handedly derailed the entire momentum of the MCU. I mean, when you look at past Spider-Man actors like Garfield and Maguire, they brought their own spin on the character. They brought a unique take on what the Spider-Man in their universe could do. What did Holland do? He strolled up, hungover, blazed out of his mind, read his lines with the emotional range of a piece of fucking celery, walked off set millions richer, and now he's Hollywood's little boy toy. Yeah, young Tom Holland coming up, starring in real piece of shit films, swinging around New York, acting like he's Spider-Man in the worst writing of a Spider-Man character this side of Marvel's Spider-Man for PS4. Absolutely despicable. And you idiots support it. Don't act like you don't. Don't act like you're not out here telling people Tom Holland's the best Spider-Man ever. Spider-Man's been sinking since he took up the mantle in 2016. I'm not even good. No, that's wrong. Let me issue a correction. He didn't take up the mantle. He stole it from Andrew Garfield, the greatest Spider-Man of all time. Now, Garfield, a gentleman and a scholar as such is he would never come out and publicly denounce Tom Holland for doing such a thing. But the underhanded tactics that this sleazebag Spider-Man, portrayed by this clown Tom Holland, employ are nothing less than a slap in the face and a middle finger to every real Spider-Man fan out there, such as myself. Spider-Man No Way Home is fundamentally built up to be a nostalgia train. It's meant to peak, like the peaks of the film, that's where you're going to get your highs. It's whenever Maguire, whenever Garfield, whenever Green Goblin, William Dafoe, or Doc Ock are on the screen. Those are the peaks of the film. Now, if you're a smart individual like me, you're going to immediately recognize the problem here. Why aren't the peaks at the moments where the characters are in emotional duress, having to make tough choices, sweeping victories, or valiantly fought but lost battles? Where are those gut punch moments? They're not there because No Way Home is a fraud of a film. Bunch of filthy fucking liars. The only people eating this shit up are man-children, scumbags, neckbeard incels who sit in their parents' basement and they think watching all the Spider-Man universes converge with one another is going to yield, just the greatest and most epic Spider-Man film ever. Oh, we got Maguire. Hold on, I'm gonna nut. We got Maguire. That's them. Those fucking losers. And hardcore, real OG Spider-Man fans like myself, we shake our heads and we do not acknowledge them. The sad fact is these no-life neckbeards make up easily 80 to 90% of the Spider-Man fan base. And let it be known clear here, folks, I do not consider myself a Spider-Man fan any longer. Back in the day, that was a different story. That was back when you would be walking through the mall and you could recognize another Spider-Man fan by their high class. All right? They aren't out here dressed like fucking homeless people begging for a handout at the shelter. They don't have a neckbeard nest filled with empty McDonald's cups, Cheeto dust, and crusty used tissues. No. The high-class Spider-Man fans such as myself, we would never be able to be described using words like lowbrow or down on their luck. That's just not us. We've found success in life, and we're not exactly humble about it because, God damn it, we earned it. That's what the hardcore Spider-Man fan base is about. Not these little idiots on the internet swearing up and down that No Way Home is going to be the greatest film ever because they get to see Tobey Maguire, who is now, 47 years old, swing around fucking New York again. These fucking neckbeards are they've ruined everything else, and now they're ruining Spider-Man. But, this is owned by Disney. Spider-Man was so much better when it was solely a Sony IP, all right? You had Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3, a trilogy that, hot take incoming, only got better and better. Spider-Man 1, fine, perfect. It was, for the time, the best film we could get. Spider-Man 2 stepped it up in every way, shape, and form, not just on the narrative front, on the emotional front, on the acting front. Everybody brought their A game, and by the time Spider-Man 3 rolled around, the world wasn't ready. Bully Maguire taking over cinema. Oh my God, that dance scene is top 5 of movie scenes the world over in history. In history. And you know what? It got even better. Amazing Spider-Man 1, phenomenal step up. The writing in The Amazing Spider-Man is so often overlooked by these armchair critics, these no-life neckbeards who do absolutely nothing but critique everything that isn't Tobey Maguire. And The Amazing Spider-Man 2 stepped it up in every way, people, I tell you, every way, because they did 3 villains right. They did 3 villains right. Spider-Man 3, it did it okay. But The Amazing Spider-Man 2 did it right. And you idiots couldn't recognize the talent. You shafted Garfield at the movie awards. Made that man so sick. You fucked with his confidence, but you know what? He came back stronger than ever. Pumping out banger after banger. Andrew Garfield is the greatest Spider-Man in the last 10 years. Don't at me, fanboys. Don't at me. I know you want to at me, but you're not going to be allowed to at me. And you know what? Spider-Man No Way Home is the perfect storm. It is the representation of the neckbeard elite. These fat, degenerative, little pimple-faced motherfuckers who are out here. They have no idea how to communicate with people. They've been living in their mother's basement for 2 decades. Society, as well as myself, we look at them as a lost cause. It's on them. The onus is on them to change. And you know what? They may not turn their lives around immediately. They may not turn their lives around for another 10, 20 years, but they can take a step, just a single step in the right direction by getting off Maguire's dick, by acknowledging that Tom Holland is in fact not that talented, that the MCU is in fact not that good, and the fact that this current incarnation of Spider-Man that we have is in fact the worst we have had of all 3 live-action Spider-Mans. These are objective facts, not subjective opinions. And spoiler, not a prediction, spoiler alert here, people, by the time the credits are rolling on No Way Home, you're not going to be filled with this sense of wonder that could only be described as a young man seeing an action figure universe crossover event brought to life on the big screen. But instead, you'll be feeling that pit of dread and that regret at the realization that you're 39 years old, you haven't seen your penis in 8 years because of how fat you are, you have untreated diabetes, the acne on your face repulses everybody you see and everybody you know, and you are a societal leech taking money out of our paychecks, getting funded for a disease or condition that you lied to the government about that you don't actually have because you don't want to go work. Well, congratulations, neckbeards. When that moment of realization dawns upon you as you're watching the credits to Spider-Man No Way Home, maybe instead of going back to your shithole basement in your mother's deteriorating, dilapidated house to talk shit on the internet again and jerk off to women that you would never be able to fuck, maybe, just maybe, a thought will pop into the back of your mind. Hey, Dead Metal was right. And you'll start seeing the light. Fuck Spider-Man.